In April of 2024, roughly a year and a half ago, I was having a conversation with my parents about where it is that I'm supposed to be in life and how I felt like I wasn't there yet. And this was right before they had came out to Arizona to visit me and watch me graduate, walk the stage of my college graduation at Grand Canyon University. Lopes up. When I was breaking down to them about this, it was because, like I said, I didn't know where I was supposed to be. I was having a conversation with my friends before I had hopped on the phone with my parents, and a lot of my friends were telling me, hey, yeah, I'm having a career here. I just landed a job here. I'm staying here for the summer. I'm going back home. I got 1 more year or 2 more years left here at GCU. And this really left me in a place of, okay, so all these people got all these plans, and so-and-so's going here and so-and-so's going here, and where am I supposed to go? I did a lot junior year. It's not like I didn't do anything, right? I just got in a place mentally where I forgot about everything because I was looking ahead. And I guess in some sort of way that's cool, that's fine, but I didn't do it the right way. I was comparing my situation to others. Why are they here and I'm not? That's why I felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And that's the reason why I was telling my parents. And so my parents were saying, hey, Nathan. And when they call me Nathan, I take things a little bit more serious because it's my full name, right? You tend to usually do that. And I said, hey, Nathan, look, the thing that you don't understand is we're coming out to visit you and to watch you graduate and walk the stage a year earlier than we were supposed to. They're right. Yeah, I was supposed to graduate in April of 2025, but I graduated in April of 2024. And that was because I did the work beforehand to put myself in that position, and I put in the work during the summers between the school years so that way I can write off that last year and just move it to junior year. For me, it was predetermined. Yes, you are going to college and you are going to finish in 3 years because we believe it's best for you to start your life a year early. And that was my parents. And I never go against what they say when it comes to life advice because they've been there, they've done that, and they've came back twice. They always say that. And my parents are very great human beings, and they've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and the reason why they told me these things is because they wanted me to not repeat the things that they did. And it's not that they did any wrong, it's just that they did it late. My mom and dad, they both graduated college past 30. And if I got my mom wrong, I'm sorry, but past 30 is when they finished college, and they didn't want that for me. That is something that I will always appreciate. And when I dedicate my love to my parents, it's because of that, because of the situations where they're looking out for me. So here I am as a 20-year-old graduating a year early and not thinking that I have a place to go or a career to lean on, when in reality I did. I just didn't think about it. When they put it into perspective, I was like, okay, they're right. I am where I am supposed to be. I'm involved with the people that I'm supposed to be with. The people that I'm around right now are teaching me what I need to learn for the future and how I'm supposed to operate as I move through life. And what I want to say is, after I walked that stage and heard my parents and family members and friends yell for me, it gave me a lot of pride in that sense. But going down the line, that summer was probably the most transformative summer that I've ever had. And I mean that because the things that I did post-grad in the summer were very, I guess, not life-changing or life-altering, but it did definitely put me in a better position than I thought I was going to be in, right? I didn't think that I was going to work with multiple NBA players throughout the summer and help them create content and help them with their podcast and learn all these new things about how to edit a vlog professionally, how to set up and co-produce a podcast, and also be involved with all of these stars that you see in modern day. Now, they may not be the biggest stars, or they may not be star in general, but the thing is they've been through a lot more than I have, and they're professionals for a reason. I also got to continue my journey with working with ex-pro player Evan Mendoza. He's a 7-year pro. He has an online baseball academy, and I've been able to help him. I helped him in college. I also helped him throughout the summer, and the day we started working together 2 years ago, we haven't stopped. But I overlooked that fact when I was bringing this up to my parents of, hey, I'm not supposed to be where I am. I don't think I'm supposed to be where I'm at. And they said, hey, look, Nate, like, you're working with all these people. You're going to work with all these people in the summer. Like, what are you on about? And what it was is I was comparing. The biggest thing that I learned in college was comparison is the thief of joy. And that's very hard hitting. And I learned that my freshman year of college from a friend, Alec Lincoln, a very successful videographer, and he's done a lot in life, and he's traveled the world a lot too. He's traveled to this continent, Asia. When he told me that, I really took that deep because I was not really, I guess, aware of that meaning is when you compare yourself to other people, you are robbing yourself of the joy coming to you, the joy of life, the joy of your situation. I wrote some Bible verses down because I want to back this by scripture, because it is very important to understand the Bible, understand Jesus, and understand how he operates. Everything that we have, every problem that we deal with, it all ties back to the Bible. And the biggest thing here is Galatians 6:4-5. It says, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. Now, let's dissect this. The first part says each one should test their own actions. Not anybody else, not your friend, not your brother, your sister, not your mom or dad's, none of their situation, not your enemy's situations, not your competitor's situations, your own actions. Test your own actions, test your own faith, test your own situation, test your own strength. Because at the end of the day, when you go through life, you are not going to deal with anybody else's problems or situations besides your own. When we talk about testing people and testing actions, we really should be testing our own. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. So when you take a situation and you go through life and you test your own actions, you can be satisfied because you're not comparing your actions or your doing to anybody else's. Your life is unique in your own way. Everybody has every problem imaginable in different ways, whether it's all simultaneously or whether it's individually. The reason why we compare our situations to others is because we see the glitz and the glamour, not the dull and the unadmirable. And that didn't really go as well as glitz and glamour, but again, they don't see that side of another person when they're going through something and how they respond to certain situations and trials and tribulations in their own. And the reason why we compare and we think that everyone is so perfect is because of this damn phone. We're on this phone more than we're asleep. We're on this phone more than we're working. And I know a lot of you guys do that. I do that. I mean, that's my job. We're on our phone a lot more than we are aware. It's very dangerous. I will admit, I have a problem where I'm on my phone a lot. But I give myself the excuse that, yeah, it's social media, it's my job, I'm doing XYZ, blah, blah, blah. I'm not always working. I'm on my phone because I want to be on my phone, and I'm caught up in the situations of other people. I'm comparing my situation to other people. That was me a year ago. That was me a couple months ago. And it's very natural, and I'm not here to say that I don't do it. I still compare myself to other people sometimes because I see, hey, dang, like, I know this person, but how are they getting here? Well, we don't always see the work that people put in. And that's the biggest thing that we misunderstand, is because we just see the glitz and glamour, not the dull and unadmirable. I want to give you guys an understanding that, yes, you can compare your situation to people and wonder why you're not in the place that they're in, but you also, at the same time, have to think about what work did they put in that I didn't. Because at the end of the day, when you don't put work in and you compare your situation to others and wonder why you're not at the same place, there's your answer. You didn't put the work in. So you can't sit there and sulk and be emotional about why you weren't in someone else's shoes when you didn't even know half of the things that they had to do to get to where they needed to be. Now, when my friends were telling me, yeah, I got this job here, I got this job there, I'm moving here, I'm moving there, I'm staying here, I didn't take into account the things that they had to go through. I didn't take into account the sleepless nights that they had to fill their resume and turn it into multiple job offerings and take multiple interviews. See, I didn't do that because I didn't know, okay, am I supposed to be freelance? Am I supposed to be on my own? Am I supposed to be self-contractor type of thing? Or am I supposed to go into the workforce? And because I'm sitting here today, it doesn't mean that I might not ever work in a corporate setting. Like, I could be there in the next couple of months. You never know that. But right now, I'm very grateful for where I'm at and the things that I'm doing. And like I said, I've always said this a lot too with my videos, is just because I'm making videos doesn't make me better than you. I go through the same problems that everyone does, and I probably go through a lot more than everyone thinks. And that's the thing that people need to understand is, yeah, my life looks really cool on camera. I'm in a park in the middle of Europe, right? But the thing is no one really understands the trials or the tribulations that I've had to go through to get to this park. Right? And I'm really putting in perspective because I want you guys to understand. I'm not a big content creator, but the thing is I want everyone to understand that's watching this video is that just because I'm in a different place doesn't make me more different than you. It just means that we've had different paths. And I've been very blessed and I've been very grateful to, like I said, be here because the things that I did, the work that I put in allowed me to be here. Psalms 139:14 says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully and wonderfully made, that is very strong. Those are two very strong words. And it's true. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are your own person. You have your own journey. You are experiencing life for the first time just as everybody else. But it's the things that you do that solidify who you are, where you're supposed to be at, and why you're there. Did you land a big time job? Did you cover a big time sports person without putting the work in, without networking, without connecting with those around you, without asking questions? Because if you did, you'd be in a much different place. The reason I got to work with professionals is because I spoke up. And it's not, like I said, I really want to make it clear to you guys that I'm not rubbing it in anybody's faces. I'm just telling you guys the things that I've had to go through and the things that I did to get to where I am. Sophomore year of college, I met some bigger content creators, and they weren't super big at the time, but compared to where they are now, it's insane. When I saw them, the reason I went up to them is because, one, I recognized them. If you guys don't know who it is, this is D-Sarm. He is a baseball content creator, and he was at a GCU game, the school that I went to, and he was checking out the facilities. He was doing a facility tour, doing all these great things for content. And I seen him and I was like, hey, I recognize that dude. I'm going to go say what's up to him. But I'm also going to ask how he does what he does, because I want to know how, and I want to be a part of it. And I don't want to be a part of his journey. I want to be a part of my journey. But I want to be a part of my own journey with the start of knowing what to do. And so I asked him, hey, how can I do what you are doing? And he said, dude, just start posting, just start doing this, just start doing that. Most people are scared to do the things that they truly want to do because they don't know, and they don't understand the amount of sacrifice that it takes. It takes a lot of sacrifice to put yourself in a much better position. It really does. But the thing that you have to understand is that sacrifice is worth it. When I asked Dan about how I can do what he does, he said, yeah, just start posting. I could have easily said, okay, and walked off, but no, I said, okay. And I started asking a bunch of different questions. I can't even really get into it because it would be a long story. But moral of the story, long story short, I got his contact. I got those around him, their contacts as well. And I started networking. And I got invited to a content house that they were staying in Arizona. And I pulled up, just me, 100 followers, like crazy. But the thing is that I started networking with these people that were around, and I was like, hey, whoa, like, I know this person. I've seen all of these people on TikTok. I've seen all these people on YouTube, all these people on Instagram. And I really just started picking everybody's brain. Okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? What was this like? How was this like? What did you have to do to get to this point? How many times should I be posting a day? And this is when I was on the journey of trying to be my own content creator, and of course it didn't work out. But the reason it didn't work out was because when I met pro baseball players that were coming through that house, one of them was like, hey, can you start editing some of my videos? Like, I'll pay you, and we can see where this goes, and like I can potentially offer you a position down the line. And if you guys were listening earlier, the same person that I met 2 years ago working was Evan Mendoza. That's who I met at that house, and that's really, I feel like, the gateway that opened that up. Because if I wasn't offered that position to edit for him and help him with his social media, I wouldn't be a social media strategist like I am now. Maybe I might have, but I'm in a much further path. I didn't know if I was supposed to be doing my own thing of content creating or if I was going to help other people. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this story and the reason why it took so long is because there was a lot, but the reason why I'm sharing this story is because I tested my own actions. I put myself in a position to where I can fail as many times as possible very, very quickly. That way I can learn, grow, and move on. I really want to tie back to this Galatians 4-5 because first part is each one should test their own actions. And I did test my own actions. And I took pride in myself alone, and I didn't compare my situation to others in that moment because I knew that I'm taking my own steps and I put the work in to be where I'm at. Of course, like I said, it's natural for us to compare our situations to a lot. I've done it before. There's people on here that post about where they're at, what they're doing, how are they doing what they're doing. I'm not doing it in a toxic way. I'm doing it of like, okay, how can I get to where they are or the level that they're at, because I don't want to be another person. I want to be myself. What are the steps that I have to take? Because that's the thing that we really should be looking at, is not the final destination. We should be looking at the journey. We really should be looking at what kind of things can I do to get to this space, not why am I not there yet. How can I get there? You don't just spawn in a different place. You don't just go from California to Texas in the snap. You gotta go to the airport, you gotta go through all these things to even get on the plane, and then even then it takes 3-4 hours to get there. There is no finish line without a journey. There is no journey without a destination. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I have life. We are living. We have opportunities. We have things to be grateful for. Now, the biggest things that I like to practice when I'm going through the comparison game is I love to understand where I'm at, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. And I do this because it provides a lot of clarity on my situation and where I'm supposed to be at. And I feel like that helps me get over the hump of, okay, I should stop comparing myself to this person because I truly don't know the work that they put in to get to where they were at. And two, it might not be real. And if it is, congrats. And three, I have a journey of my own for a reason. My journey is not supposed to be like someone else's. There is no testimony without a test. I like to look at, okay, where am I at? Am I in my hometown? Am I in another city? Am I across the world right now? Yes. And then I think about, okay, what am I doing with my life right now? Okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm helping this person, I'm doing that, I'm working for someone, I'm doing this, whatever. Okay, cool. Now, why are you doing that? Okay, I'm doing it because I like it, I blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, now you have your why. Take that and move on. Forget about the people that you compare yourself to because your situation doesn't always align with them or their lifestyle. And that's cool, but the thing is that you are unique in your own way. The other thing is having gratitude. Okay, like I get to do this, I get to do that, I get to have these problems, I get to worry about this. Someone is worrying where their next paycheck is going to come from. Someone is worrying about the next bill that is due because they just got laid off of their job. And if that's you, then I'm praying for you, truly. That's the way I like to think about, okay, I can't compare myself to them because of this, and that. My situation does not look like their lifestyle. And at the end of the day, my journey is my own journey, and it's beautiful in its own way because there's different trials, there's different tribulations, and these trials and tribulations make me who I am today. And I praise God because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. Not anybody else's image, His image. We are in Istanbul, Turkey today, on the Europe side. I'm in Asia all the time, but Istanbul is actually the only city in the world that is met by two continents, Europe and Asia. They sit like this and there's water in between, and I'm always on the Asia side. But today I saw this park. I don't know what it's called, to be honest. It's a very Turkish name and I don't really speak Turkish, but I saw this park on TikTok. I research a lot of my things on TikTok, especially out here because a lot of people and tourists love to post about it. And yeah, I just saw this park and I was like, hey, let's come here, let's record a video, let's give you guys some knowledge, some advice, some words of wisdom, some things that have been passed down to other people. But again, guys, I'm very grateful for anyone that has made it this far and watched this video because you are truly the difference maker in again, you don't have to listen to everything I say. And some things that I say, it might not be okay. Like, he didn't really spit there. Like, he thought he ate, whatever. But the thing is that you listened and you heard someone out and you sought someone else's perspective on something that is in daily life, right? Everyone sees everything differently, and of course I see things differently sometimes, and I might not always align with everybody else's thoughts. I try to be different. But again, like, I really appreciate it because it means a lot. And if you have made it this far, please like, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment where you're from. I want to know if this is a new viewer or if this is someone I know from a familiar place, whether that's Phoenix or Corona, California, where I'm from. So I truly do appreciate you guys, again, making it this far, and I pray that you guys have a great rest of your day, and I pray that you guys always seek the joy out of life.